Welcome back and thank you very much. This is TV's New Day. This segment is brought to you by Nest Chocolate and my guest Richard Kumado. He is a fraud and security consultant, also comrade, not honorable. Murtala Mohammed is a deputy minister for trade, former, and now the member of parliament for the people of Tamale Central. And George AC is the National Communications Director of the National Disaster Management Organization. Welcome back, George. Quickly, somebody sent me a message asking for NADMO people who have been on the same rank for 12 years, when is their promotion coming? Because I'm talking about promotion and let the retirees go.
Don't promote them.
Please allow him to answer that. Then we'll go to George.
I told you when we came, this has been one of the major issues we have had to deal with. And we employed the services of a consultant to do the structure of NADMO. You know, NADMO, they didn't actually, people, labor consultants will tell you, it doesn't have any proper structure. You get it. It doesn't have any proper structure. You get it. And
I want an answer.
Oh, doc. You get it. So it is something that my Director General has decided, let's bring proper structure for NADMO. You get when the current fair wages and salaries boss was appointed, I called to congratulate him, and I told you NADMO,
Engineer Arthur.
Yes, Engineer Arthur, and I told you NADMO, we need to be, properly framed. Risk allowance and all those things don't seem to be in existence. Okay, and these are people who are disaster respondents. Okay, and so it's something that we're thinking if the consultant finishes his work,
when is the
all these things will be factored in. I cannot respond to that now. Let me respond to the promotion issues.
So
it's tied into
give him
that.
a timeline.
Oh no, I don't. I can't respond that whether it's going to be today or tomorrow.
Okay.
I need to speak to the team before I can speak authoritatively on that. And so that ties into when we go. There are some people with master's degree and they hold the their rank is at the lowest ebb. You get it. So it's like, it doesn't recognize some of these things. And people have worked. I get a lot of calls from around the country that, in fact, some MPs will even call you that, look, this my person working in your outfit, he's been there for 12 years, 7 years, 15 years, the same rank. And it's something that my boss is dealing with. Okay, gradually.
How is he dealing with?
No, gradually, some people are being promoted. So they are taking the applications
above their seniors.
I'm not aware of juniors above their.
You are not. The new entrants. You are promoting them above people who have been there for a long time.
Oh, no. So if somebody is a new recruit with a degree and you decide to use the civil service something, it means you have to place him at a certain level. Somebody was there before and wasn't placed at that level. And the promotion issue is a challenge that we now trying to resolve. And so if a new person comes in, maybe you'll be compelled to use the civil service thing to put him somewhere appropriately.
Are you using the promotion because the specialized area?
Yes.
Are you using experience and expertise, or are you just using academic qualifications? I need to understand.
Oh, no, I don't know that. The HR people will be in the best position to respond to what the criteria for promotion is. Okay. But definitely those experience and co will be part. Look, recently I think there was an accusation that NADMO recruited unqualified people.
Right.
Then one thing my boss said, which I agree with him, was that George. Now, the guy we had was the order where there was a collapsed building.
Right.
Okay, there was a guy who didn't have any education, but he was the one daring, going in and bringing out the people. And not more recruited that guy, you know that. You get it. And so, what qualification are you going to say if he doesn't have MSLC or JHS or whatever? Yes, but hands-on, he's doing the work. And we recruit him to be able to do the job for us. So which category are you going to put him in? Okay, we need to have that. And I believe the HR sector can answer that properly because we need such people to help us to deliver on our mandates.
If those people, Richard, if those people who, like the guy in Odan, without the requisite qualification,
academic qualification,
has done that kind of work, saved lives and property for 12 years. Would you be counting on his experience on the job, or would you be counting on his academic qualification?
No, definitely. Because you know why? I told you that there are people who have upgraded to masters and still You get it?
Still, that's not fair.
Yes, it's not fair. That's why my boss is looking at that, so that we can get those things streamlined.
6 years?
Yes, so that we get those things streamlined.
But he's been there for 6 years.
There are processes and protocols that ought to be followed. Okay, a consultant must do his work, and then you take it to the Public Services Commission for them to approve before you can be properly streamlined and put on the structure. He doesn't have the mandate on his own to say, I'm going to, no. There's a process. You can. Why not?
You were working there with all your qualifications.
Yes.
They gave vehicles to people who are not up to your standard. They didn't even give you a vehicle. Is that not a fact? Isn't that a fact? Isn't that a fact? No, it is a fact.
But George even didn't have an ID card.
They didn't. I'm saying that.
Talk about this.
Meanwhile, on a more serious note, meanwhile, he's been communicating for them. I'm saying that the injustices, and it's not only at NADMO. It's just unfair. There are people who were recruited who have the qualifications you are talking about.
Yeah.
But they are deemed to be NDC people, and therefore they must not be promoted.
Oh no, I disagree.
Thank you.
I disagree.
Thank you. Richard,
I'll give you names and expect them
Ghana
to be promoted.
under imminent terrorist attack with what's happening in the sub-region. You are the security consultant here, so I'll let you take a chunk of the time. They are taking a chunk of the time in the other one. So this one,
if we had an imminent attack, then my brother George's office is a very key national institution, and I think they need to look at it again.
Yeah.
You should have read some of my articles I wrote on disaster management and NADMO. I think the way we build it up and the way it's going is not helping the state as a key institution for managing disaster and imminent terrorist attack. No.
That's why
we are not.
But it's under the Ministry of Interior.
No, we are not under any terrorist attack. Who said that? We are not.
We are not under any imminent terrorist attack.
There are issues. I asked the Minister for National Security, what have we done as a nation that we have become so attractive to terrorists? Right. Which category of terrorists are after our life? And what did we do wrong? Then that argument went down. Then there was another one when they said the terrorists are actually here.
Right.
I have worked with the BNI for years. So if they are actually here, then it makes life easier for us. Right. At least we know who they are. So we can go fetch them and have a discussion with them over a cup of tea and what the issues are.
as easy as that.
Exactly. You know the two guys who were brought here, the Guantanamo Bay guys and the euphoria it came with. Then I was so the argument that those who brought them here have more stake in them than with the host. And that also died off. So, yeah, there are challenges within the ECOWAS region. There have been very few attacks here and there. But for Ghana, I think we've done some few things right. And terrorists do not just strike. If you check the modus of operandi of terrorists and their psychic and what they do, they don't just strike you. There has to be a cause. And who are these terrorists in the first place? Right. Because the dynamics have changed. And some other people are using it for national security purposes. And if you study geopolitics so well, it can have a strain on your national economy. When your stock exchange do not crash, they could plant terrorist group by your door or create a terrorist attack for you. And whilst you are fighting, trying to mobilize yourself, certain things could happen. So for Ghana as it is, by the plantation of certain people in Ghana, the narrative around Ghana or about Ghana has changed drastically, and I think that's the way we should look at it.
We recently had a shake-up at the national security. New faces were introduced at the national security, BNI and all of that, or NIB and all of that. Would that change anything?
No, not really, not really. When you look at national security, we saw it coming. When Mr. Treme died, Mr. Treme has worked with the BNI for years, and he became director of BNI. He went to national security as a coordinator. Right. What my father in the office of the president did, which I disagree with them, is that they plant a ministry above him. Okay. Then now you have Ministry of National Security.
Right. So it was working under them.
Yeah, and it changes the structure. So once the structure changes, that's why we're having some issues of security here and there. Who takes the front row? Security is a practical thing. It doesn't really matter what you do. You must get a hands-on on it. Then we saw the Dankwa Institute guys coming in. We knew they were going to hand over to them. So when the president appointed them, some of us were not surprised. Then you go to the BNI, which became NIB. And it wasn't a shake-up. It was just an appointment of people taking over the responsibilities at the helm of affairs. This is the way the BNI works, just like any other secret society in the world or a secret service. It has a way of taking care of it herself or itself. It doesn't matter who is there. There's a drive you must follow.
Okay.
And there are certain processes you must follow. And it doesn't really matter who is at the helm of affairs.
Okay. I see. Your borders. Let's look at our borders now. I mean,
there has been, because of Aisha
look at our border towns, for example. Aisha One snack out.
No, Aisha One didn't snack it, Johnny. I told Bella that Aisha One has never been about security negligence. It has always been about politics. I was just telling my big brother that Aisha One is married, and he asked me when she got married. It is politicians who make Aisha One a national security issue. It has never been about national security.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a political issue. If Aisha One is repatriated, the president didn't say repatriation, he said deported.
Right,
if Aisha One is deported or repatriated, it's an immigration issue. And all of us who have traveled all over the world, we know how deportations are done. It is immigration who should be leading the charge. In this particular case, it's no immigration. Some other people took charge. And even if you look at the charge sheet against Aisha One in the first instance, it looked funny. That's why her lawyer is saying it's a small case. Do you know why?
No.
Because of what she did. You have Galamsey in there. The proceeds of Galamsey is a Bank of Ghana issue because money laundering and financial crime takes that as a predicate offense. And the compliance people are interested. When she open account, they'll be interested in source of funds, nature of business, and the ultimate beneficiary. Then you come to the people she brought in. That falls under human trafficking. And one of your newspapers talk about human trafficking. The police have a whole state architecture, and the police and the immigration talks about human migration and human trafficking. Then you are looking at the immigration itself. So there are several things wrong about what we did with Aisha One. But hopefully, let's pray that the government liar will get it right.
If you look at what's happening at the immigration service, and I've been speaking about it, juniors being promoted over seniors, people being not too happy on the borderlines, people who are stationed at certain places which have non-existent offices, people who used to depend on the rivers and streams now destroyed by Galamsey, they have to depend on pure water, the sachet water, and all of that. All these issues, state of mind of those who are supposed to be protecting our borders, are they in the right frame of mind?
Mr. Sapon became director of immigration. My mom, Madam Jokoto, was the administrator. Auntie Baba is the lawyer. Mr. Frifa is not a lawyer. It's the operations. I can go on and mention all the names. I have worked closely with immigration for over 10 years. And I know the structure. So I'm surprised hearing some of the things I'm hearing now. I think my big brother, Mr. Tichi, must do a good job and reform immigration and put it back to where Mr. Sapon, Felix Sapon left it for him. Other than that, these are first-line respondents to any of the terrorist attacks or cross-border crimes.
Right.
And once they are demotivated or do not have the motivation to do the job, we might be joking. And it's a joke.
Guns in circulation.
Too many guns in circulation.
And your small arms and, well...
They don't have the power to even do monitoring. And the politicians enjoy it because when it's time for
politicians, the NPP.
Hold on, but there's hold on. I need to get it.
So
there's a retiree now who's been given another contract, gone past 65. They can't monitor at the last line, baseline survey 2014, the national security document itself. General Kutin, good morning to you. It raises key concerns that there are too many guns in circulation that are not being re-registered or the licenses are not being, and for me it's a concern.
You know why? It's not just those handling the gun, but there are people in this country whose business is to import guns. So we need to look at the enhanced due diligence processes again. My brother talked about warehouse. It should be the warehouse system for these guns as well.
Right.
We did a lot of work about those who import guns. Who are these people? Whether background checks have been done on them or something. Some politicians enjoy from the laxity of the system, and to that extent that they may give guns to their boys to cause mayhem on their political opponent, they wouldn't do it. And the small arms have been struggling for some time. Other than that, what we can do is that when you do the risk assessment for Ghana, which I do twice in every year, there are particular zones, we call them high intensity crime areas.
Right.
And these areas have a lot of guns. You don't need to be a security professional, as you say, RTC, but just look at the news and you will see those areas having a lot of crime related activities.
You. Richard Kumado is a fraud and security consultant. He joined us here on the ticket of his company. And also, Comrade Murtala Mohammed is a member of parliament for Tamale Central. And George, you see, he's the National Communications Director of the National Disaster Management Organization. Special day to Victoria Abaneza. You are 40 today. This is from your husband, Nanaya Osei Dakwa, your children, Ohima Ya Asantua, Nanaya Osei Dakwa Jr., and Eno Brikrama Dakwa. They wish you well. We love you.